And now we should be live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Playing on the Hermitcraft, doing another intro. It's another stream day, you know how we roll. 4Gil, May School, Spooky Dokie, Oops My Apocalypse Cheese. Thank you so much for the bananas in chat. I've immediately just realised that I've got a bit of a RSI strain. Let's switch mouse. Let's switch mouse eye. Ah, okay, this one. This one, my ergonomic mouse is a little less precise with the aiming and stuff, but it's a trade-off, isn't it? Well, I'm adjusting everything now. My armrest doesn't feel right. Great start, great start. Welcome everyone who's tuning in. Today we shall be working on ye old ribcage. Let's take the plunge. Oh my gosh! Oh, and we're inside. Wow. Yeah, movement feels a bit wonky donkey. Actually, so do my frames feel a little bit... Oh, 1 FPS? No? You're just messing with me. Right, let's also get this thing to appear. Somewhere up here, we're way up high in the sky. Corrupted, MB, thank you ever so much for 6 months. By sky, I mean mountain, of course. You know. There you are. There you are. Cool. Let's go ahead and plop down this. And grab... we want some storage. Gonna need storage today. I've got a grand total of 2 chests. Epic. Yeah. It'll take me forever to put these down. Let's get rid of this thing for a second. I think what I'll do is just on the opposite side. I might need to move a beacon. Oh, dang it. So we're going to need some temporary... Actually, wow, this is so annoying, right? Like, I haven't decided where all the components of my base go yet. And I was starting to think that maybe down the bottom here would be the best place to put storage in. So considering that might be the case, what I'm going to do is put it off to the side a bit. Alright? Brilliant. We've stored things. Job done. Over this way we go. What I want to collect those cobblestone. Just seem to end up with tons and tons of regular stone. So also going to be using this today. Going to need to craft more chests, that's for sure. We've got that started. So next issue is that the ribcage is on this side, and this is opposite to the beacon beam. Dang it! You see, I would have moved this off camera, but I remember as I was coming down, the beacon beam, I kept getting closer to it. The problem is, I was getting closer to it on the opposite side. Right? So we had a beacon. I think we're going to go take the slime portal beacon. I do not know how to navigate to my slime farm. Everything's a bit of a mess at the moment, I guess. Calvandi, thank you so much for 11 months. Appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Yeah, I guess I'd fly up to the sky, fly over to where the beacon is, drop down, pick it up, move it somewhere else. If you try and visualize what you're going to do, you might be a little less derpy than I am. I need tons more iron. Where's all my iron gone? I swear, I must have like a chest or something somewhere that I've completely forgotten about. Right, so maybe what I do... Hang on, no, let's think. So, let's bring back this. This is the ribcage area. What I want to know is how far does it go? I guess this is quite a riveting build. Ah! So good, so good. Rainbow Skull, thank you ever so much for resubscribing, my dude. Perfect name for these activities. Right, so that's the other side of the ribcage, right? So then whatever's going on... Ooh. Is it the other side of the ribcage? We have to open up a lot of space to really get a bigger picture of it. So I think putting a beacon out here wouldn't be a bad idea. And maybe if I just build one for now and then pillar up, it won't be so bad. The issue is you don't want to go through the thing that you've already built, that thing being the skull. So if I put a beacon base somewhere around here, ideally I put it below the ribcage, right? Now, instead of using my camera account, I can just do this. So I need to go a few blocks further, and then we'll be... Oh, there's sheep moving. We'll be away from the bones. And then if I head down... Oh my god, the lag! To about here. I wonder what happens if I press F3. Oh, it's actually showing me right now where I am. So we need to go down to about Y60, and then we'd be underneath all of this. Cool. That is extremely helpful. And extremely cheaty. What? Ah. Oh. I like it. I'm cool with it. Look, I played this game a long time, right? It drives me mad when it's like, oh, I've got to travel 100 blocks because I left that one thing that's really important behind. Michael Redfield, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. Appreciate it, my dude. So what we'll do is, as I said, go out a few blocks, then dig down to about Y60. And let's trigger yield coordinate hub. So we've got the number on the screen. So when we go down, we have everything that we need. We don't have the beacon, though. I think I'll grab the beacon first. We no longer need this. Terrific. Wonderful. Hello, MTV. This is xisumavoid, and welcome to my cribs. My ribs, even. Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, God. How on earth did it seem to think I hit something? I'm not sure which one of these beacons it makes more sense to remove, actually. Or borrow. My brain is trying to decide. I think I've got more... This one's going to be more useful when I go caving. I'm going to take this one. This one's mine. I mean, it is actually mine, so, you know. Oh my god! Oh! I did that too soon. I forgot that it goes down below 0. Ah! If... that might have killed me, because this thing isn't at the bottom of the world. Yeah. Okay. I did okay. And I'll have that torch back. Thank you. I guess I know where my iron went. It went into these beacon bases, but dang, I turned off the iron farm. Maybe I should turn it back on. Oh, almost there. But not quite. Oh, almost there. Jeez. Come on, we're going over the old world limit. Oh, gosh. There's so much potential with ribs, you could even say that digging this base is strip mining. I didn't think you were going to go in that direction. But okay. Hey, we got a noise in the air. It's Ashley Downs with the Prime subscription. Thank you so much, Ashley. Appreciate the support. Hope you're entertained, enjoying the stream. Oh, there's some stone blocks up there that I need to get rid of. Dang it. I'll sort that out at some point in time. So what does everyone think about Mojang's latest changes to the mob spawning and portal mechanics? I just saw the change and was like, uh-oh, here we go. I didn't really even think about it too much. Having thought about it a little bit, it's definitely one of the types of farms in this game that are like naturally overpowered, I guess. I mean, instant movement of mobs from one location to another. It's all a bit on the cheaty side, that's for sure. I don't think it's actually a bad move to change it. Just the way they do these things, I don't know, just feels like so many changes like that have always been sort of half done over an update. And it always just seems a little odd, the timing, but I think the change is okay. And reading my comments, I kind of got the impression that quite a few people feel similar. I'm glad I did that first. Let's have a look. What have we got here? The light is coming through. Ugh, one more block. Those other blocks have been caught in the sides of this, haven't they? Right, so that saves me a lot of effort after I go down to the correct level. Let's eat our bread. And try and use this as well. Moving mobs out of the area, farms, unnecessarily efficient for anything I'd ever need, says Ultimate Wager. Yeah, I get. Well, that's the idea of it being OP, right? Is that it gives you can get so much out of it that it's kind of ridiculous for some players. I like the people who make farms like that will never be a casual player, so it's taking the fun outside of the technical community I enjoy watching, says Aki Paints. Yeah, it is always interesting to see these things. My attitude has often just been that, you know, well, we're kind of used to farms and technology changing over time. Oh my good, oh gosh! I've come to the scariest place in my base. I actually feel, oh! Like, the fact that this can change over time, in my mind, makes the game a little more enjoyable sometimes, because I reckon as a result, you'll see some of those portal farms now take on... Goodness me, there's some butt kickers here. Like, players are going to be forced to try and replace those portal farms with other things, and we might discover some new mechanics and have some fun along the way. That's gonna my attitude towards it. Take one for the team, butt kicker. Ah! Down you go. Slice and dice. Come on. There you go. Now I'm only going to make a temporary stay in this area, but dang. I want to make sure it's still lit up. Oh, there's so many butt kickers. But added constraints help drive creativity and problem solving too, says Vic. Yeah, that's a more elegant way of saying it, right? So like you take away the portal farm and now you've imposed constraints, which means players are going to have to innovate on the design if they want to come up with something new to replace it. Heroic Machine, thank you ever so much for the Prime, greatly appreciated. What I do find funny about it though is that as Mojang have tried to like nerf these sort of farms, they often get the player base to rethink, and then it's like, this thing's been nerfed, and then the community figures out how to do it even better next time around, right? Because I've been playing this game for over 10 years, and like, the history of a farm being OP, like, it's surprising. You saw stuff that you thought were OP back in the day, and they keep finding a way to top it. Right, we don't want to go any further than that. And I feel like what I want to do is block off the top in case nasties try and get me. So here's where we build the beacon base. And we're going to try and do it right this time. So in the middle it's always 4 high. Like up to there. A gaming monkey in chat says there's a balance to be struck with farm mechanics. Solving problems is a fun creative process, but if one solution is obvious and better, it takes a lot of creativity out of it. Yeah, it sure does, and I've been trying to do more redstoning stuff lately for this series of Hermitcraft, and when you don't aim for efficiency, when you just focus your mind a little bit on what mechanics are available, some interesting stuff emerges. I had this idea, I'm still formulating it, I think it's fairly possible, for a sheep farm where, in order to pick up the items, there's a pressure plate in this game where it can create a redstone signal, not when an entity stands on it, but when an item is dropped on it. So I was thinking, if you had an array of sheep and you were shearing them on a timer, and then you only sent out a minecart to collect it, and this is in 1.19 as well, when there's actual items to be collected, you should be able to sort of create a redstone system there where the minecart can... Or sorry, a redstone signal can be created when there's actually items to pick out, and then the minecart can go out, collect the item, drop the items off, and then be put into storage. So it's an entity that just appears when needed, right? So you minimize the amount of entities. And like a negative gold pressure plate, says Vic. I don't think it would be negative, because you would want it to turn on when items are on it. So when items land on it, it creates a redstone signal. I was also thinking how that would create a steady state signal, right? So then that means that you can have a powered rail at the end of that. So this means that the minecart goes out and collects the things. I mean, if it comes back and, you know, there's still more to be collected, that powered rail is still powered, so it would just go out again. I've also had some ideas to do a Squid Farm a totally different way as well, and the key thing is I'm not thinking about efficiency. Actually, Squid Farms are another one you can do with portals. Did that in Season 7, right? Puddles of Custard, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription, my dude. Greatly appreciated. That was a few minutes ago. I was probably fighting mobs, so you can forgive me, right? We got Curtis Main saying, why are portal frame farms more efficient than normal farms? I'm not smart enough to understand. When the mob spawns in the portal block, it instantly goes to the nether, which means the mob cap that it was taking up is instantly freed again. So not only do you have like instant removal of mob, because most mob farms efficiency rely on how quickly they go from appearing in the world to being killed, right? You can do that instantaneously, and the fact that you send them to a different dimension means that like you can kill them and take care of them in that other dimension, and you know, like everything else is taken. It's like literally instantaneous that it disappears from the dimension you're farming it in. Okay, we've got that beacon. We need the ingot ready. I think I might grab this too. Okay, we need the haste. Double that up, sweet. Right, and there's no mobs about to drop on my head. I'll pick up some XP. Nice, and we'll drop off some bits. And then head out of here. Cool. This might be... oh no, wait. If I just stand on the beacon, it won't be tricky at all. Oh, who's a brain smartest, eh? Who's a brain smartest? We got that put together. Ah! Pretty quick. Dang. Thought I was falling into a infinite hole of death then. I'm doing a version of your mob farm in a server. It's really nice to use scaffolding. Takes a lot, but it's super easy and made me create a cave spider and bamboo before. Yeah, you have to build other farms to create that farm. I mean, technical Minecrafters love farms, right? I think one way you could give them what they want more in this game is just perhaps in nerfing something like the Nether Portal farm, you can introduce more to the overall tech tree, you know? Like all the farms that lead to other farms. Right, so now that we got the instant mine back, we probably kind of want to identify the top of the ribcage. This is something I'm not really prepared for. And actually, it's probably going to be really tricky to spot where it is due to the nature of the build we're doing here. Like, we can't see through blocks, and when I do this, we can't exactly see where the other parts are. Oops, there we go. So in order for me to discover where the parts of the ribcage are, I've got to kind of shimmy through this space, looking for the next installment of it, right? And so far, I'm not seeing a peep. See, I'm not sure how much prep I needed to do for all of this, right? Looks like I should have done some more. I'm getting like some horrible lag leaving like Madaka on at the moment. Madaray, 23 months, my dude. Thank you so much. Hope you're well and taking care of yourself. I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. And Comboy, 61 months. I believe that was EvilX just wandering in. We've been streaming for 19 minutes. Perfect time to start drinking the tea, right? X, are you going to use gradients on the skeleton? No, pure bone blocks. Pure bone blocks. It was just too much to also throw in something like gradients, and the nature of the build will just... it doesn't really need it. Skyfighter says, when I read the title of your latest snapshot vid, I thought they were nerfing the end portal farms, like concrete, gravel, sand, duper, and that they use the end portal. That's something else that probably needs a bit of attention too. I mean, they're really cool to see things like that taken advantage of, but I kind of feel like if something's not going to be that obvious to an average casual player, then it doesn't make the most sense. Alright, so maybe starting over here is a better point because we can see some more of the ribcage, right? So we can see... we can see rib 1 and rib 2. We want to find out how tall these ribs go, essentially. Looks like we keep going up. And I'm pretty sure that all of the ribs will like appear in the method that we're doing right now. So we want to get to the top and then work our way down is kind of the methodology here. And it's going to be a bit of a messy methodology to begin with. Right, so that to me suggests we could be somewhere near the top. The thing is, the way it's all put together is it doesn't really have like an actual top. It's just like the top rib and then open space, and I think we've just found that. Silk touch that. Right, so I'm going to call that the top. I need to go get some more torches, don't I? We'll use the right one. There we go. Here's a question: Is the emerald ore more valuable than the diamond ore? I mean, it's rarer, right? It seems to be rarer. We can put some coal in here. What did I come back for? Wait, torches. I need the coal. Well, did I make a bunch earlier and put them in here? I made a bunch earlier and put them in there. Okay. And we got a sub bomb coming in. I'm also behind Everstu. Thank you ever so much for 10 months. 10 months, 10 months, 10 months. Thank you so much, dude. The Caesar here for 19 months. And IYI Lil. I butcher your name every time. I apologise. I'm trying my best here. Crazy name saying, Evening X, how goes it? It's going alright. It's going quite alright. We got some gifted subs. Monster IE, thank you for tuning in and gifting subs too. Maybe Yambi. Darcy, Pitt, 1357, Gorbo Free and Twitch Blackmore. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to say thanks in the chat as we appreciate the gifting of those subs. Right, so these blocks, for now, I mean I kind of want to maximise every little bit of inventory space. Peeps are saying it's the deep slate emerald ore. Yeah. What happened to coal ore? Like, I'm sure it was deep slate coal ore that was even rarer, but my comments tell me otherwise. Oh yeah, where are my tools? There we go. Put that in there. Right, now we are slightly more organised, I think. And at an acceptable level. So we're gonna head up here. No? Which way was it? Into the darkness we go. Through this chaotic system of navigation that makes very little sense. Okay, so we turn this thing back on. And let's say we look at this like it's the top level here. Oh, maybe it isn't. Ah, okay, right. I need to refer, I think, to my main skeleton thing, which is on a different server, and it's going to be like an absolute pain to get over there. No, I'll figure it out. It won't be that bad. I need to just figure out like what part of the build this is actually. And then we can start ripping out the necessary components. Because it just feels so strange to like the view that I have of this is just odd. Like you don't get your bearings, you're not quite sure where you are. And if you're digging out the right bit or not, right? God, and the frame's absolutely choppy right now. We got a message in chat. We got Curls of Doom gifting a sub to Talbar. Thank you for gifting the sub, Curls. Talbar, be sure to say thanks in chat. I just realised you're now a paleontologist. Oh, with the digging of the bones and all that. Colonel Coffee says, for Portal Farms to work, do you need both sides to be loaded correct? Does the activity from one side of the farm keep it loaded on both? So when an entity goes through a portal, it loads the other side. I think it's for something like 15 seconds. So like, essentially, you know, one side loads the other anyway. So both sides are loaded if something goes through. The one scenario in which it's not good is when you have a player in the other dimension and they're too far away from the portal that it causes the mob that just went through to instantly despawn, essentially. Mouthy says, what are your thoughts on the amount of content in 1.19? I honestly love how much there are, but people seem to be really caught on not getting birch, forest and fireflies. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm kind of happy with anything being added, and I think there is a lot of cool content. It's definitely been a bit of a weird one, but I feel like it's a matter of perception, presentation, communication. Like, the updates promise has been a bit wonky, yet there's tons of stuff in it. And yeah, like, the least exciting things ever mentioned for a Minecraft update, birch forests and fireflies. You know, it's really, I think sometimes, I think you might call it a form of hysteria, but sometimes I think, like, people can't express the disappointment of a lot of the update is essentially the Warden in the Ancient Cities, and it should have been part of Caves and Cliffs, and then that kind of manifests through moaning about something else. That's what it feels like to me. I mean, as my you know, years of experience in psychology with communities. Okay, I don't have any. But yeah, like the birch forest thing, when they announced that, I was kind of like, eh. And the fireflies, I was like, eh. So it seems to me like we got a lot of stuff in this update, just most of that was promised a while ago. Anyway, please forgive me, I'm logging into my other Minecraft server, and I need to pull up some coordinates of where the skeleton is, and then go visit it. See, I'm very organised. I've got a notepad full of links and coordinates and all sorts. Right, let me go have a look. You can't see it, I can. Oh, interesting. Oh, right, okay. So, quick test that will help us a lot. Okay, what that number? About 200 up to around 220. Only 20 blocks? Probably a little bit more than that. Okay, so now over here we're going to do a little test. We are at... where's the bones? Okay. Need to do this again. So it kind of comes up here and joins all of that. And then this is probably actually the neck. I'll do a bit of a comparison at this point. Yeah, I think I got a good eye for where we are. The problem is my model of the skeleton is sort of bigger than what's going to be visibly seen. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't actually like contribute to the build. Okay, so now you're starting to see we've got this big old shape. We've got that bit there that kind of... Yeah, I can see exactly where I am. Okay, so this should mean going from 167, we should be around 147, probably a little bit further down when we're at the base of this spot round the corner. A little further than 147. Yeah, okay, so I know where we are. We're at like the collarbone. That's good. People are a bit disappointed with 1.19 because it doesn't have much content. It does though. It's just super spread out, like bits that do not match the update title, says Skyfire. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing though. Because people like aren't articulating it that way, it just tends to manifest into something simpler, which I think is just going, what about those things you promised? And to be fair, those things that they promised were more in tune with the Theme of a Wild update, so you can certainly talk about that. Right, so the way in which we're going to establish the very top of all of this, I kind of need to give myself a bit of a refresher on my plans. Yeah, no, we are to build all of that. Okay. Right, I think I don't need this other world anymore. I'm going to close that. Hopefully we get a few more frames. We kind of just need to follow this shape, and it should guide us and let us see like the entire top area of the ribcage. and probably need to do a bit of this as we go around. I am a bit concerned about chewing out too much above it, because all of this is going to be filled in with black concrete, so I'll actually try and be a bit smarter on that front. Let's maybe not go too ham on that. You see, you can see here that there are quite a lot of bone blocks to be placed, but we sort of only need to place the ones that you'll actually see, which will be closer to the player. I feel like as I do this, it might be a smart idea to also bring in some bone blocks so we can physically see them. And then we'll have a good idea of like where stuff is, and we can start to turn off this like Malika stuff, because it is a bit much to look at. Yeah, this is it. This is us pulling out all the space. Huh, where's the next bit then? Oh, there might be a gap in the middle at the front here or something? No, we got it, we got it. Okay, and then we're finding the other side now. Excellent, excellent. So we'll come all the way back round. You know, we're sort of in the middle and it's symmetrical-ish. Okay, so I want to go grab some bones so that we can create some guidelines, I think. Poster Nerd, thank you for 3 months of support. Also, Caps Lock Zero's here with 3 as well. Greatly appreciated, my friends. And The Last Psycho is here for 52 months. Also, Bibba02 here for 6. Appreciating all your support as always. Hope you're enjoying this Tuesday afternoon. Hi X, maybe I've missed this in your vid/streams, but why are you building such a big portion of your build in the terrain? That's because I want it to be underground, and I could build it above ground, but I don't like the idea of like there just being this like big blob that I wouldn't want to decorate like somewhere out there in the world. Maybe if I had a concept for how it would look on the outside, I'd be keen to decorate it, but I kind of don't, so everything's underground. It also ties into how I want to play a little later on, like the theme. I didn't really want to do too much outside builds, you know. I wanted to focus more on interiors and redstone this season. Are you making a full skeleton arms and legs too? No, it's just you fly in through the skull, you go down the spine into the rib cage, and the rib cage is how you navigate everything. So there isn't anything beyond the rib cage. If there was, you wouldn't really see it, because if you think about the structure of your bones, like your arms and legs are limbs, so the bones don't, like, they're not like a rib cage where they hold volume. So a rib cage is protecting all the things that's inside of it, and that gives you this big sort of space, right? Like the skull is protecting the brain. That's the way you want to look at what we're doing here. You know, we're building the parts you could actually sort of move through at this scale. To the laptop, and away, says Artemis Malak. Oh yeah, I got some laptop info for you. So my laptop was actually delivered while we were discussing the previous laptop. I had 2 deliveries from the same people on the same day, at the same time. Like, it might have been that they were actually dropped off at the same time, now that I think about it. They might have been bundled together or something, but essentially the doorbell went and I thought, oh, that's my delivery that I don't have to go and answer the door for. Well, it turns out, you know, I checked my messages later and it's like, no wonder I got confused. I get a message from them for the one thing I'm expecting, and then also for the laptop which I wasn't expecting, and they're pretty much like, the delivery time was 2 minutes apart. So anyway, the laptop turns up, or sorry, it doesn't turn up, I have to go collect it, which I did. Go collect it, and you know, it's got Windows 11 on it. Setting that up, not particularly impressed with Windows 11. It just, you know, I didn't get deep into it or anything. It just sort of felt like they're trying to put a bit of a different experience, a different feel on top of what already exists with Windows 10. And you can kind of see it. There's lots of like moments where it's like you've got like a new right-click menu, but you just press this one button and the old one appears. There's lots of like clear moments of the old system like directly underneath it, which Windows has had like forever. if you've used Windows over the years, every time something new comes out, there's always like bits of it that don't get brought along with it. And it just added like another layer of that, and you could still find things that were like the same as, I don't know, Windows XP or stuff that hasn't really changed in a long time, and it just didn't really feel that that, I don't know, necessary. So I wasn't terribly impressed with Windows 11. And then I found out that you can't use Bitlocker with a password on it. Oh, now we've got loads of opinions about Windows 10 or 11. I don't know. There'll be some opinions about that. I'm reading a few of them. I'm not one of those like inner camp people, like, all about my Windows 10. I just, you know, want something that I guess, one, works, and that I can use. Well, that's it really. It's all just about, you know, is it usable? Can I get what I want on it? And I could on Windows 11, except I can't encrypt my computer with a password, which is kind of why I want Bitlocker. If you're not aware, the Windows password, you know, when you see the Windows login screen and then, you know, you type in your password and off you go, that is notoriously insecure. Might sound like I'm exaggerating a bit, but as I understand it, it's very easy to bypass that level of security if you wanted to. So a laptop, in my mind, is something that's extra vulnerable because it's portable, it's easy to pinch or lose track of, and someone can take it, try and extract your data from it. If that's what they do, they might find something valuable, maybe a bank login or some, you know, stray bit of data on there that somehow is useful to hackers. Like, the quickest way in is through the Windows login screen. So I don't want to use that, I want to use Bitlocker. And it doesn't work with it, which is rather concerning. So anyway, it turns out my license key for Windows 11 Pro works with Windows 10 Pro. So I've downgraded it, and I'm going to set it up with the password protection. And then I'm now wondering, I'm umming and ahhing, like, can I then upgrade to Windows 11 and it keep the Bitlocker system intact? I'm not sure. You know, I'm not in a rush to upgrade. I don't need this laptop to be working immediately, so I could give it a try, but it could also be somewhat of a waste of time. Like, it might not work and I have to roll everything back again, but I don't know. I haven't done anything on it yet. Maybe wait for Bitlocker update. I don't know how it works, says Vict. Yeah, there is no... I don't think there is any Bitlocker update, and I think the reason it's been removed is because of some decision they've decided somewhere that, you know, you can just rely on the Windows login prompt, which I do not want to do. As I mentioned, it's, as I understand it, supposed to be rather insecure. Keep Windows 10, says Ivionator. Well, I have that option now, right? I mean, it's on there now. Later on, I might have a little bit of time to try some things. But yeah, I was thinking maybe if I put in Macronym Reflect as well. I'm not sure how well that works with Bitlocker, but if I update it and I can't keep the password in Windows 11, then I could roll it back. But I'm not sure how well rollbacks like that work with Windows, or sorry, with encryption. There's also the possibility that I just won't really like Windows 11 much. I know getting used to new things like can be a bit annoying, and you know, change can be a bit like that. But what I've seen is sort of like Windows 11 moves in those directions I don't typically like just subtly forcing you to do things. Like I noticed some of the settings for stuff like how it shares your bandwidth with other people trying to update Windows, as opposed to Microsoft providing all of that. It sort of forces it upon you, and I'm like, you know, like there's gonna be, I'm gonna find more stuff like this, aren't I, where it's so the settings are just further pushing you in the way they want you to use the computer, which in this day and age tends to revolve around data harvesting. Don't waste your time, it's supported for the next couple of years. Windows 10 is, yeah. I'm probably gonna stick with it. Bixley says Windows 11 with TPM is pretty secure. Is it? I mean, the Trusted Platform module is for hardware tampering, right? Like, if you want to break into someone's laptop, you don't need to tamper with the hardware. You just need to get past Windows password, which is, as I said, supposed to be really insecure. Like, you can probably just go to, like, YouTube and find a video on how to bypass it. It's not good, as I understand it. I mean, I'm not big into this kind of, like, understanding hacking and whatnot stuff, but it's something I've got a passing interest in and, like, catch things about occasionally. The weakest link in security is always the person itself, says Vict95. You know, when you speak in absolutes, you tend to trip up, right? That's what I say. You have things like zero-day exploits, which can, if found in a security system, it doesn't matter what the user's doing, you can get past it. I think the sentiment should be that for the average person, they are probably the point of vulnerability. When you're lazy with passwords, reuse them, reusing email addresses, or not having a particularly strong grasp on security is generally, like, you know, what makes you weak. But to say, like, that as an absolute kind of glosses over some other security issues. But yes, don't trust your Windows login. I did bypassing of that and I'm a noob, says Skyfire. Yeah, that's the impression that I get, that it's easy to bypass. Right, I've been waffling and I'm quite far behind on the noises in the ear. We've got Morbrick77 for 38 months. Darth Leto with the Prime. Artemis Malik for 3 months. Cool Meek Attacks here with the Prime. Joe Kip, Evil X popping in, 79 months. And Raffy Warren for 27 saying, hey X, hope everything is fine. I'm having a couple of rough weeks right now and can't really follow you as much as I want to. I'm sorry to hear that, my dude. I hope whatever's going on sorts itself out and that things will get better. I hope. They generally do in life. When you get through the tough bits, you recover, you recoup, get back on track. Wishing you all the best, my dude. Thank you for the support. I'm looking at chat and trying to look at this screen full of obnoxious ghost blocks. Ugh. How do computer problems like you're currently having affect your gameplay, says Perkus Key? I wouldn't say it affects my gameplay at all. I'm talking about a laptop, so it's just something that I do when I have the time to set up the laptop, right? It's not a major concern. It's not something that I need to get done in a rush or anything like that, so I just chip away at it. A little bit of time here, a little bit of time there. I got quite far into setting up Windows 11, but on my list of things to do early on was the old Bitlocker, so I kind of lucked out a bit there, perhaps. Caught that one early. And I think I need to perhaps do a bit more research on Windows 11 before I decide to use it, right? Because I kept finding stuff where it was like, oh, I'm going to need to find a fix for this. And if I do manage to get it to work with Bitlocker that way, that was just like one of a few things that I'd found, and I'd only just gotten started with it. So chances are I might find more issues, and it's nice to have the new looking stuff, but Windows 10 is so solid I might just stick with it, you know. Yeah, actually I think what I'm going to do is just leave those blocks up top, because at some point I'm going to come back with some black concrete and like create a ceiling for all of this. That's at least the idea. That might involve putting a few blocks like behind and having the thing recessed somewhat as well, which is why I'm putting some blocks back there too. Actually no, I am gonna do that because we'll end up with like something annoying spawning on top of it and dropping down on me at some point. I know it. It'll happen. Windows 11 needs some time to mature compared to Windows 10 at launch and now. Yeah, and often there's this like rule with Windows, is that it's like every other system seems to stick. And so chances are with Windows 10 being so successful that Windows 11 won't be adopted and they'll make another one. One thing I was a bit annoyed about is that they did say that Windows 10 was like going to be the last Windows, which you kind of knew, like, you're going to have to update at some point, but not this soon. I didn't think this soon. And the reasons for it to be updated, I haven't looked into it much, but it doesn't seem like anything noticeably game-changing. Just like, it feels like they're trying to emulate a bit more of a Apple kind of iMac feel with the interface and the smoothness of it, which is definitely appealing. But it comes with a bunch of other stuff too. Fastest side says, oh, uh-oh. That's not what fastest side said. There we go. Microsoft, Windows 10 will be the last window. Also Microsoft, so we got bored in the lockdown. I mean, the lockdown wouldn't have been the reason to create one, but they did say it'd be the last. I mean, they could have said last for a long time, I guess. I don't know how you handle all that. I gotta change this mouse. I feel like the other one will be better now. I've used this one for a time. This is the most civilized Twitch chat ever, says Dill Pickle. Well done, chat. Congratulations on using your civility. Other than the UI, the infrastructure kernel optimized heavily, and new scheduler for the new Intel Big Little architecture. Okay, so that's like some back-end stuff that I'm not aware of, right? I did say there was stuff I wouldn't be aware of. The UI again, I felt like there's some good changes there, but a lot of it just, you end up going back to the old UI. Like, you know, you right-click to access a bunch of stuff, and then there's like this more, and then you just see Windows 10 again. It just felt like I kept encountering that stuff in sort of like settings menus or some of the old... I mean, if you go into anything like a group policy editor, it's like the same as, I don't know, Windows XP was, it feels like. So, I don't know, to me it felt like it's just sort of like a layer of gloss on top. I'll tell you what I didn't get to do, some of the old window snapping stuff. I was aware there's loads of really cool window snapping features available, which is the sort of thing I really quite like. So there's probably a bunch of that I haven't seen that would be really good. Windows have that UI inconsistency, and they're trying to make it all uniform, and with every better build they are making changes towards its fastest side. I imagine they are, but they got a long way to go. Long way to go. Hey, I'm not, you know, I'm not that deep into all this stuff. I don't know the ins and outs of each little update that Microsoft released. I have in the past been curious and like checked out some update videos, and there's people explaining like what's new, what's changed. Just remember, Windows 8, Windows 11 can't be that bad. Well, I guess in terms of, yeah, like past failures, it ain't all that bad. But you know, like the biggest feature for me just isn't there, and so I'm like, well, I better go, you know, make sure I've got this and use Windows 10. Remember Windows Vista? Yeah, that was like halfway to 7. It's weird how it works. Like, 8 was sort of visually on the way to 10, I guess. I didn't actually use 8. I didn't use Vista either, as it goes. They didn't seem quite ready, those ones. Yeah, so the black concrete in this area is obviously going to like trend upwards a little. Exactly where, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll scoop out a bit more of this for now. This is where maybe starting higher up first would have helped. Actually, we were kind of like not too off it, which is good. Nothing beats Windows XP for me, says Woodlouse Pie. Well, if you're still using XP, that's a problem. But like XP was a good addition of it. Sure. Ever consider switching to a Mac? Apple's new Macs are so good, says me. I've just got too much stuff that's on the PC architecture. Like, I'm quite curious by Linux and how that works. And the problem is not just like learning a new system or something. There's a lot of stuff that's incompatible. That might be less so these days, but I don't know. It just feels like you're setting yourself up for a whole bunch of other headaches, having to figure out how to get this stuff to work on that. More so with Linux probably than Mac, but you know, I don't have that kind of free time, so it doesn't seem like too fond of a thing for me to do. Right, let's go get some more bone blocks. I feel like that's definitely a good method to clear out the space, get the bone blocks in, and then we're just going to have to continue this you know, process every time we do this, going downwards. Scythin, thank you ever so much for 10 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream and having a good one. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Got 1,600 peeps coming by on a Tuesday evening. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll remind you to hit that follow button. And also, I posted a TikTok video today that I thought was quite funny. Xisuma TT is my TikTok. Might do a few more things here and there with that as of late. Oh, Windows XP. I used to work in manufacturing car parts, doing millions of parts a month, and a surprising amount of lines were all dependent on XP or Vista. Yeah, it's just like that. Like, it's a bit of a concerning thing, like understanding tech and security in casual workplace environments. And I guess that the general thing is probably just not realizing how valuable data is, or what you might have to lose. And if someone really wanted to target, you know, some company that's got like their stuff running on Windows XP, that makes it a heck of a lot easier. It's the same sort of education that I think needs to extend to, you know, a lot of people who use computers on a regular basis anyway. There's a lot of I guess you could say password insecurity is a bit of a problem on the internet. And like other general practices that are not so well embraced. Like for example, one thing, right, that's really annoying is like you know, you load up that program like slobs for me, and then it auto updates. I mean, I moan about it, but I'm not a fan of auto updating. But when there's a new update available, you should always update, right? Because sometimes an update is just adding in, I don't know, some stuff that's been developed, right? Nothing interesting. Other times it could be like critical security issues are being patched. And so in general, if you use something, make sure like checking for updates is turned on. And, you know, it might be an inconvenience to, you booted up your computer, you're about to start doing some stuff and there's an update, but if you just get it done, you know, it might be an important security one. So keep all your things up to date is what I'm saying. That's a good security practice. Just you know, keep it all up to date. Simple rule of thumb. When the updates are available, take them. Yeah, Windows updates totally destroy my laptop, so I can't do it, says the Thinky. That's a bit of a peculiar one, because I had an issue with my computer where I couldn't update it properly, and there was all these sorts of issues. But it turns out that I had too old of a setup that it didn't work with Windows updates. So it was like, yeah, just completely unable to properly update, which was strange. But when I got to the bottom of that and installed a newer copy of Windows 10, it solved everything. Yeah, like, you know, if you can't update it, you really want to. Always wait 1 to 2 months for updating, since historically there's an existing chance Windows Update will wipe your things. I do art for a living. I would not say that. I'd say take the updates as soon as they roll out. Like, yes, there's issues where sometimes your settings and things get lost with updates, but you know, that's just part of staying secure on the internet, I guess, is that sometimes things go a little bit wrong. You had a too old of a setup is something I really hate. It's forcing people to buy and throw away perfectly good machinery. Now, you misunderstood what I've said there. What I had was too old of a Windows disk. So I had to get a new one, because when I used the older Windows disk, it couldn't update and get started on sorting out the system properly. So it put me in this weird limbo where I had all sorts of issues and it wasn't clear why. Once I put a new update disk on it, everything just sort of clicked and went like normal. And also, as for things, you know, there is a problem with cyclical consumption, but some things are kind of necessary, like, you know, old security practices and the way PCs are set up, they do get out of date over time and need updating. Need modernizing, you know. Caesar says, I procrastinate on updates for a very long time, that's just a personal issue. Just take the opportunity, next time you see an update, just go get it done. It's always an inconvenience, you're always on your computer. Like, you don't fire up your computer to, you know, check an update, right? Like, you got something you need to do. So it's always going to be inconvenient, but the security is there for a reason, right? So if you can keep up to date, it's better for you. My PC updates without me realising, says Skyfire. Yeah, Windows puts in a lot of automatic stuff on that. That's something I actually turn off. I don't have it do automatic updates, but like as soon as one's available, I take it. It is possible to pretty decently like disable a lot of that stuff. Not in Windows 11 though. This is another one of those like creeping feature things. I noticed it's like harder and harder to make sure it doesn't do stuff you don't want it to do automatically. Stupid question maybe, but why is everything purple? Alright, it's because we've got a schematic showing us where to put the blocks. So I can build the ribcage. You know, it's such a mega project, it'd just be insane to try and copy it block to block. It's what makes it possible really is that we've got this. As I was saying though, I did want to actually fill it in like that above. And then put that there. So, topic change. We talked about, I think, Jackass, or I mentioned new movies, and then some peeps in chat were like, Jackass 4.5, and I was like, what? Anyway, yeah, 4.5 came out on Netflix. And, yeah, I was sort of waiting to watch the other movie first, but then I thought, go on, then I'll watch it. It's got some fun moments in. I've almost finished it. I've got like 10 minutes left. I don't know. I think it's more a problem with me. I don't laugh as much as I get older. It really annoys me. I was like, I used to crack up so much when I was younger, and like, I feel like I'm losing my sense of humor or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just, you know, I've seen all of that kind of stuff before, but it's enjoyable. I like seeing, you know, the gang again, and the shenanigans they get up to are pretty hilarious. But like the 4.5 is always the stuff that didn't make it into the movie, right? So I was kind of worried I might spoil the movie for me, but now I feel like I'm more excited to see the movie. And it's it's quite interesting to see how the filming budget has improved. Well, you know, the brand is strong and the audience is out there for it. I think it costs 10 million to make the movie, and then they get to build the 4.5 edition out of it as well. So for that, you know, that's the thing. Like that's a pretty big budget by today's standards for something that isn't a Marvel movie, basically. I've moaned about this before, but like, that franchise has unfortunately changed how movies get financed, and not for the better. As you know, the studios aren't taking like any risks on budgets above 10 million, really. Never seen anything from Jackass, says Taubar. Really? Not even a smidge of Jackass? It's so legendary. I don't know how old you are. It depends like what generation you're from as well. But if you're from my generation, like it was such a hilarious, awesome thing, you know, at the time. And I think a lot of the audience that still watch it probably are, you know, a similar audience, right? Like we're all older now. There is a difference between losing humour and growing up and finding different things funny, says Kells. I get that, but I haven't found what the other thing that makes me crack up as much as stuff like Jackass used to do, right? Like, I think it's just like probably not seeing Friends as much. Like, the funniest things and people that I know all are like Friends. Like, you know, watching comedies and whatnot is great, but your friends always crack you up the most out of everything, right? And it's probably just, you know, most of the laughs I used to have were probably with, it was probably, you know, watching Jackass with friends, and that always makes it more fun. Jay Sharp says the smaller movies is basically what streaming is for now. Yeah, and sadly that means, like, you know, smaller budgets and they get treated differently than they did before. Right, let's keep plugging away at this. And I think soon we're going to probably finish this first like layer and then maybe take a break from this project. Dang, look at that, there's tons of the stuff we've got to put in. The red blocks are the ones that are not where they're supposed to be, so that shows us where the bones are supposed to go. Just like that. I think we just had a couple of new noises in the ear. Or maybe a few, I don't know. Sometimes my head just gets like so in the conversation I just zone out a bit. Dorva Lorma, thank you so much for 14 months. Headed to the south of Spain on holiday tomorrow. Oh, awesome. I hope you enjoy it. That's great. C011, thank you for 4 months. Stefan RBK, 29, saying, did I miss the Mumbo prank again? Oh, you did. You missed the Mumbo prank, my dude. We also got Raven Monster here for 11 months. Almost a whole year. Thank you so much, Raven Monster. Appreciate it. And hope you're enjoying the stream. Right, so where we tore away all this stuff up here, it would probably be best to fill it back in for the time being. And then I'll throw down a torch later on, we'll light it up all proper and stuff. Get rid of some of that too. Last time I had tears in my eyes laughing must have been the Was Up stream. Oh, was that when I did the Was Up thing? Oh god, that was so... Oh, I remember that now. God, that was so dorky. Oh gosh. I don't consider myself to be funny, but if like people find the things that amuse me, which is often like not being funny is amusing, like then I'm all for it. Like, hey, if it cracks you up, I'm happy. I'll you know, I'll unleash the beast. Because yeah, sometimes I get like comments from people that are like, oh, I was cracking up at this bit in your stream, and I'm thinking that was not even mildly amusing to me, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like mostly it's when I like rip on myself or you know, get super dorky or something. Which is fine by me. Your being dorky is very entertaining. You got no idea. Well, I'm glad it is. I mean, I get some idea, but I just don't... I feel it more for all of you than I do myself, if that makes sense, right? Like, it's the feedback that informs me. I'm like, oh, they like this, do they? Gosh. Ah. Being a troll and derping can be super funny for the audience, says Skyfighter. As I'm told, yeah. I was very tempted to be Saki then. Is it really now? No, I'm not going to do that. There is a difference between laughing at a clown and being a clown, says Nicky Woo. There is. There is. I guess there is, yeah. I don't know, maybe some comedians, like, you know, traditional comedians, not comparing myself or anything, just maybe some of them, like, they perform, but their jokes are not as funny to themselves as their audience finds, and they know it. Like, that's not something I've ever thought of when watching a comedian. I'm not thinking they're like, right, I got you all laughing, but this doesn't amuse me in the slightest. I mean, I say doesn't amuse me in the slightest, it's not quite like that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, if you know, you give someone a microphone, all right, and you let them waffle for ages, they learn. Other people find these things funny. I can laugh for hours because of your derpings, is basically. Well, that's good. That's good. Tawa says, I'm already amused by X acknowledging that some people find him funny. Is that you subtly saying that I'm not? Because I feel like it is. God, so mean. Larnard69, thank you for 5 months. Greatly appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're entertained, enjoying the stream, and all that good stuff. A lot of high-profile actors like Johnny Depp don't like to watch the movies they're in. Interesting. I know of some that do as well, though, right? Like, I think that's probably a bit more of a preference thing. One thing I don't do is I don't ever, like, watch my videos for anything other than editing. Like... or like referencing or something. Like, if my videos are entertainment to you, they've never been the same to me, but like that's probably quite obvious because, you know, there's like this thing going on in a Minecraft world. It's an experience. I'm sharing the experience. I'm sort of like not trying to create the video I want to watch. I'm just sharing. That's an interesting thought. What if I were to like try and create a video that I wanted to watch? Well, I know what that is. That's all of the edutainment stuff that I love. I'd love to do some of that. And then I probably would watch them back. In fact, probably the videos of mine that I've actually watched back the most would be Xisuma Says videos, because I kind of like want to hear that the messaging comes across well, and sometimes I like occasionally go peruse and jog my memory as to some of the things we've talked about. Right, anyway, that is most of this done, right? Oh no, a little bit more over here, I think. And we'll take care of it then. And look at that, you can see most of the back of that bit now. 4 emeralds. Oh, my inventory's full. How on earth will I pick it up? Oh, I've already had one. Let's go deposit some of this stuff off then. Do you listen to your own music, says Towerbar? Great question. Such a great question. Like the timing of that, perfect. Yes. Yes, the music's so different. Like, I will listen back to the songs, ones that are complete, ones that are yet to be finished. Absolutely. So that shows you how different those creative endeavors are from one another. Here's the thing, I always say it, like, I don't consider myself a gamer. Like, this is at some level my job. Believe me, I enjoy it, the creativity. It's a pleasure to do this. But it is on some level a job, and like I always feel like my real passion is the music, you know. So I don't go back and watch old episodes of Hermitcraft or anything, but I do sometimes, like, referentially, you know, oh, what was that thing that I did that one time, and then I go find out. Or maybe I'm just feeling a little bit nostalgic and want to just sort of remind myself of some old videos that I made. But it's never the same as music. Music's like a hunger and a passion, you know? Oof, I love to listen to my own songs too, says Talbar. Yeah, they're like your, you know, your little creations, your... I mean, this is the thing, like, everything I'm saying you can think of as like, oh, you could say that about your videos too, right? So I think it's just a case of, like, the artistry and creativity. It's every individual person can have, you know, the thing that they're most into. It's not a rule of music that all musicians like hearing their own music, probably. So I guess as someone who does multiple things, I'm just expressing that, like, my main thing is always the music, and these are maybe not quite what you think they are. Skipper Wife says, hi Xisuma, love your videos. Always learn, me and my daughter, so much. We are new to Minecraft, thank you for that. Glad you're learning from the videos. It's wonderful to hear. Hope you enjoy them. Continue to. I am actually trying to make my videos a little bit more explanatory of the things that I'm doing, especially with the redstone tinkering. So I hope people can learn from it. The video I'm currently recording has quite a bit of that in. And I think I've been explaining the tree farm that I've been building pretty well. So I hope you both enjoy it when it comes out, whenever it will be finished. Alright. A few more bits here, a few more bits there. Everstu says food has been had. I've done my eating for the day. Midnighter Night says humor is like a magic trick. They're carefully crafted and create a reaction, but for the one who can see how and know the trick in advance, the surprise has lost its luster. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's some jokes, or like setups that I've seen before. That's why that Sarah Silverman joke, like, I went and watched it again. I've talked about it. This one joke of hers just like absolutely had me on the floor in stitches. Like, I'm not even kidding. I fell off my chair and like had to roll. Like it completely took me off by guard. And I went back and I watched it again after I hadn't seen it in years. And because I knew something was coming, like I could sort of remember the joke and where it went. But like, when you don't know where they're going with the joke, it has all the opportunity to just slay you. And that'll forever be one of the funniest jokes that I ever heard. But every time I kind of know, every time I go hear it again, it'll lose a little bit because it's the setup that made it just so hilarious. What's something you find to be quite difficult to get across to the audience when making a video? And how does it influence the choices you make regarding recording and editing of the video, says Zach Gaming Official. It's usually something I don't think of, but I actually notice it like a lot due to feedback. But when I talk, certain details are in my mind obvious, but then when I listen to what I'm saying back, I realize that I could speak with more clarity. I could speak with more directness to what it is that I'm talking about. And a lot of the time when you go back to editing, like, the moments passed and it's like, I could have expressed that better. And I always want to do better, and it takes a fair bit of focus, and a lot of the time you tend to just like hit record and go through the motions kind of casually. I don't know, I often think about like putting like post-it notes around my monitor, but then I feel like once they're there, they'll be easy to ignore once they become the same thing. But you know, like putting reminders to like clearly articulate might be really helpful. Because when I go and watch those videos back, I'm like, you know, I said this and I said that, but I was sort of referring to things that may not actually be that obvious. And so I can kind of see how like parts of what I'm saying might not make sense or might not say the things I actually wanted them to. So there's that element of things, I guess. I don't think there's anything more of the skeleton here. I think this is just like a blank space, so we'll leave it like that. I'm going to pinch some more coal while I'm here. And that'll do. Oh, apparently all of that's supposed to be bone, is it? Oh, we'll fill that in then. Post-it note blindness is a thing for sure, says ex-introvert. It sure is. Like I've listened to some productivity podcasts and books about note-taking, and I know it all kind of comes back around to habits. It's all good to take notes, but it has to become a habit. And there's always these other things that you got to do every day, right? And they come thick and fast. I say thick and fast, like it's not that crazy for me, but they keep coming essentially, right? And so I never got quite the time to sort of pause and then think, oh, like, you know, what can I focus on, like note taking or whatever. And if I do get a moment of pause, there's usually like loads of things that I want to do. There's that never-ending to-do list. So it's really hard to pick up habits like that, I find. But I have done a little bit of note-taking. I've got a note-taking app, and every now and then it pops into my head, oh, I should put that in there, and that's kind of useful. Oh, that's good, because I literally wanted to find a way from up there down here. LGB in chat saying, have you ever considered using a script for those parts that need more clarity? Not for Hermitcraft. Hermitcraft will not be scripted. And when I've made tutorials and other types of content in the past, they've been partially scripted. The reason I couldn't do it for Hermitcraft is just because scripting takes time, and Hermitcraft by nature is so time consuming. The way I have to approach recording it needs to sort of be off the cuff, but really just a little bit of foresight and planning. Like what I was recording earlier, I gave a fair bit of like foresight and thought. You know, before I hit record, I actually at some points even sort of pretend recorded before, and just gave me a sense of how I was communicating, and then gave me some ideas on what to adjust or what not to miss out on. So yeah, I don't think scripting is the right way to go for Hermitcraft, but if you're doing like a tutorial video, like a big explainer, then it certainly can be really good to take lots of notes, because those videos tend to be like evergreen videos as well. So you know that like people will be coming back to them over and over again, and so you want to make them nice and clear. Whereas Hermitcraft's more disposable, right? Like people tune in each week. If you missed an episode, well, you'll watch the next one or whatever. Dang, this is some plentiful coal vein right here. How about using buzzwords to remind yourself, almost timelines like buzzwords to keep you flowing but still have creative flow control? I don't know quite what the buzzword strategy is, but again, through the lens of habits, it's, you know, okay, I've got this new idea of buzzwords, and I guess unless an idea like blows you out of the water and you're immediately like, oh, I can see exactly how this is going to be useful, then, you know, it really boils down to like if you remember or not. And I guess that's another point, is that stuff that does become a habit has like a clearer impact on you. So, like I've been drinking coffee before I work out, because it makes like a big difference. And so then if I go work out, it's like I should definitely have a coffee. Like it pops straight into your head because you know it's going to make a difference. So if I have some idea about how to record Hermitcraft and it makes a big difference, that'll be what like keeps it in mind. So all these other ideas for productivity about like note taking and this thing, that thing, until they have that like big aha where it makes its difference known to you, they tend to be rather hard to develop into habits. And as I say it like that, it almost sounds like, well, that's why they're probably not habits, right? Because they're not really working for you. Yellow Harold, the one, the only, 74 months, Evil X is here. Hello, hello, sorry not been around much, I've started working out every other evening. Awesome, dude, so not so much time for streams. All good. Glad to hear you working out, my dude. You know what I say if you've been listening to these streams? Don't go too ham. You know, slow and steady wins the race. It's about doing it for the long run. Keep yourself fit and healthy and strong. Don't get injured like I have. Speaking of which, my knees have actually been really good for like quite some time, and I ordered some Barefoot running shoes, which are basically running shoes without soles, like, you know, loads of padding around your ankles and the bottom of your feet, and I'm going to try and get used to using them and see if they will aid in my recovery somewhat. You're injured, says Caesar. Yeah, I've been injured for oh gosh, coming up to probably 2 years at some point. My knees have just, I mean, as of right now, having cut out all the sorts of training, I don't run anymore. Like, if I go months without running, they kind of end up just feeling fine day to day. As soon as I try and introduce some sort of working out or running again, it tends to go a bit wonky before long, so I'm trying to like find my way back in very carefully. Zach Gaming Official, thank you for the Prime, appreciate it. Oh, let's what am I going to do? I've just changed to standing if I didn't say that. I'm just going to check what was on the list. Yeah, there was that thing to do. That might take a bit more planning, really. Which of these do I want to do? I feel like lighting up some caves. How about we do some lighting up of caves? Does that sound cool? We'll go from using one cheaty mod to another if you like. Yeah, I know. Knees don't like cycling or running, so I rock, skate, and roller climb. Harold, supposedly knees are supposed. Cycling's supposed to be good for your knees. Well, everything's individual and it depends on what sort of issues you have. But the idea is you don't have that impact. You don't have that like landing on your feet. You're just going through the motions when you cycle. And I've been cycling for quite some time now, so my knees have gotten good with that. I've let's see. Yeah, it's you know, I stopped doing squats, but I've been doing deadlifts, which if you don't do right, they can be a bit taxing on the knees. So that's been going well. Okay, let's get out of here and go over to that beacon. That'll take us to where we need to go. Have you heard of egg membrane supplements? They're supposed to help joints, says Tyre Deranges. I have not. I have not heard of that ever. I will look into it. And I'm going to make a note. Egg membrane supplements. I mean, the fact that it involves eggs, I already like it. Hey X, what are your thoughts on antidepressants? I've been using them for 2 years and they do help a lot, but they have also have some long-term side effects like kidney problems. God, what are my opinions on it? It's like quite a careful, like you have to be careful how you talk about this because oh, let's hang on, let's press. I think that's going to display the sphere, so we're above the sphere. You got to be careful how you talk about this stuff. I learned this from talking about it in the past. I kind of had a bit of a negative opinion towards antidepressants, but it was purely based on just anecdotal data or you know, small bits of data, anecdotal experiences with people that I know that were perhaps put on antidepressants kind of willy-nilly. Like, you know, mental health is like a whole big complex topic with many different ways of looking at it, and should probably start with, you know, not going straight towards chemical solutions, right? It should start perhaps with therapy and other things, but sometimes that isn't what helps, and you can be diagnosed with some sort of imbalance. So just like, I'm just kind of aware that there are potentially some doctors that are just a bit trigger happy on giving people antidepressants instead of trying therapy and exercise and things like that first. That's one thing that just concerns me about it, but that doesn't mean the whole thing is bad or terrible. And really, you know, if there are things that can help you be happy, why should you not be able to use them? Right, let's now use the camera to find out where we need to go. So as you can see, like, I've lit up all of this part. Okay, so I could sort of dig over here, get up to that bit, and light it up. That's all somewhere over there. Kathy Hattie says, I was on antidepressants for a while and they really helped me, but I'm glad I'm not on them anymore as they made me tired all the time. Yeah, they have side effects and whatnot, right? You know, it's up to the medical professionals to figure out, you know, who and when and how. And I've just, you know, I heard some horror stories of people being diagnosed them. Sorry, you know, subscribed them all too easily, and having seen that myself a little bit, it made me concerned. But like, that's not the whole picture, right? Oh, we're outside of the beacon range. There's another thing I use here as well when we do this. Yeah, I should probably put the other pick away at some point. Oof. Oh, on my travels, I have actually taken some screenshots of where I'm pretty sure some ore veins have started. There's like loads of copper and then granite, and I'm like, oh, I found a raw copper block. So I can also use this to help. Cool. And I like to go a little bit further out, if I can. I don't think I'm going to collect all the coal, but I'll probably collect some other ores on my way. What mod do you use for the free cam? It's actually called free cam, I think. That is actually the name of the mod. I'm making roasted vegetables. Any advice? Roasted vegetables can be kind of easy to get wrong, in my opinion. Let's go down that way. Yeah. Like, when I eat out at like restaurants and stuff, I never ordered roasted vegetables because I don't know. It seems like you might like get a. Every time I've ordered it, it's been not great. But when I make roasted vegetables in the oven at home, I had some today. It's just about like timing and flavoring. So like chopping up potatoes, giving them some good seasoning, you know, salt and pepper and stuff, and maybe a little bit of was it Cajun spice or some sort of spiciness. I like that. Then, you know, chuck in some onions a little bit later, and after that put in some carrots or green beans. Yeah, timing the cooking of them is important. You don't want to overcook them, you don't want to undercook them. But yeah, when I've ordered roasted vegetables before, they tend to come just like horribly overcooked. Neela Flowers, thank you for 7 months of support. That is appreciated. I hope you enjoy the stream. It has been a reminder for me to drink some water, which I'm going to do. Myra says, are there agreements made on Hermitcrafts about cheating mods or aren't allowed or good to talk about? Yeah, so we talk about it a lot. The real thing to be said is that the way I play with these mods is not the way everyone plays, and the concern is that like it can undermine your perception of Hermitcraft, because there's some people who do amazing stuff on here and they don't even touch these mods, you know. And so it's really up to each hermit for them to sort of show what they use at this point, because we kind of went through a period of like not showing any of this stuff, and some of us kind of felt like, well, we use it and I'd kind of like to be able to show it because that's how I actually play. So the current consensus is that it's okay, but like make it clear how this works, which I haven't actually done up until this point. I kind of feel like I should have probably said that earlier. But yeah, like the way I play is not the way everyone plays. You don't have to agree with the way that I use this. My reasoning is pretty genuine when I say I've played this game for a long time. Back in the beginning, it was just so much fun and new and novel to do all these sorts of different things in the game. But then when you do them again and again, like, other parts of the game become more important to you. So like, you know, engineering a farm is a lot more interesting than having to go and do the grind after. Whereas in the past, the grind was like a really interesting part of it. I mean, go look at Season 2 of Hermitcraft. I was like, I'm going to rip out all the sand blocks in this desert just to see what it looks like. You know, been there, done that. I'm not going to do that again, am I? So yeah, it's really down for each individual hermit to, you know, share with you how they play and what they use, etc. And hopefully you don't just assume that other hermits are using this, because that's the main concern. Some people are like, well, you know, I'm doing all this building and I don't want people to think I just used Schematica or whatever. But there are rules, of course. There are some mods that are off limits. For example, Litematica has the ability to place blocks automatically, and that's like turned off for everyone, and no one actually. Not only does no one want to use it, we don't, and it's not allowed. And I don't see that changing for me. I really don't. I feel like not placing the blocks goes too far for me. You know, maybe someone else feels different, but that's a common rule where it's like, yeah, no one's doing that, and it's not allowed. Right, I think we got. Oh no, you see, look, this lets you catch those little pockets that you missed. That I don't know. Like I played this game for so long. Like there's no reward in caving for hours just to find that little thing that was hidden behind a wall. So basically, do what makes the game most enjoyable as long as you're transparent about it. Yep, that's kind of it, yeah. But, you know, we will communicate first. Like, if someone finds some new mods, you know, that they want to use, they'll bring it to the group, and then it will be discussed about. And, yeah, it's, you know, a lot of what goes on in Hermitcraft is just about communication and transparency and respecting one another and communicating and talking, right? That's all it is. That's how you get things, you know, done as a group and learn to play together and get along and coexist. Now this might be a right here. This might be an ore vein. I don't even have any plans. I just like collecting the ore. Maybe not. It looks like it's just a patch of gravel. Especially the copper one. I don't know why. It's just like, it's new, it's novel. I'm like, oh, I want that. Actually, to be fair, if ever I build with copper, I don't have to build a copper farm at this point. Okay, let's check where we are again. I'm not sure if I went to the right place or if it was just a little bit on the way through. So, yeah, as you can see, there's some patches up here. So what we'll probably do is kind of grab some blocks and shimsham our way around these edges. And then wherever those little bits are, they'll get lit up. Right. Oh, an ore shop for the builders, possibly. What other interesting questions do we have? Zach, gaming official, do you have any sort of... Do you have a set pre-recording ritual? So sometimes would you like to do... before recording or during recording that helps you focus, record or focus during record. That was so confusing to read. I don't have any rituals. Sometimes I'll warm my voice up with some vocal warm-ups, but in general it tends to be like a mindset. Like you start to, like the next bit of the episode starts to tick over in your head. I've done this bit, I need to tell the peeps about that, we're gonna go do this thing. Like it's like you've got a plan unfolding in your head. That's most of the time what it's like for me. So like earlier today, before I started recording, it was like, oh, if I get on there and do this thing and that thing, I'll be ready to record before long, and we'll do this bit and then that bit, and I'll edit it together. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know, you kind of get into a bit of a space where you're ready to be creative and start working on this stuff. Right, there's a lot of darkness over there, so if we drop down, swoop around, and then ender pearl back up into there. So we're looking for some redstone on the side. And, oh, I might, almost, if I'd have thought about that, I could have swooped back up in straight away. Okie dokie. X, are you considering doing podcasts like Xisuma says style? I mean, that's what these live streams are, really. Hey, there you go, there you go. That is a vein. F3, F2. Right, I found 2 of those out here, and maybe I could sell them to Cub since he has a shop for selling them already. But yeah, there you go. We found, or maybe I'll just mine them myself. Actually, do you know what I said earlier about like needing the copper? I think I'll just come back and mine them myself at some point, and see how much I get from it. I did that earlier in the season. It was kind of fun, just find out how much you get, do a bit of mining for a bit. You know, bats have this embarrassing habit of just flying in front of people who are digging. It's really weird. Don't recommend it if you're a bat. What was the question again? My brain's gone blank. I got distracted, right? There was a vein all of a sudden and I was off. Oh yeah, podcast. Like, I pretty much consider just this live stream to be the equivalent of a podcast. And, you know, Curls is picking out cool questions from chat. So, I like talking about anything really, you know, topical. So, maybe we're talking about Minecraft. Ask whatever you want. Where are the mobs? Because we're going to the dark spaces, you would think you're more likely to see them. But the thing is, we're also going away from the center of where we've been lighting everything up. So the mobs are like most likely in the next set of caves, if that makes sense. But yeah, we should really... Oh, I've done the wrong one there. We really should start to see them at some point, shouldn't we? Oh dang, we're going down low. And then this almost looks like somewhere I've been before. Except it goes lower. This is a great location for like a mob to come along and like knock me off. Okay, I think we're relatively safe, so... Yeah, I've probably been through that area, and I might want to ender pearl back up and finish that job. Yeah, so we'll come back that way. If we just... Oh, look at that. 1 or 2 little spots over there on the way back. And then all of that round to the right. So we want to go down and up. And then... Oh, look at that. Someone's branched mine. Maybe try and find that branch mine. Okay, there's a few things to keep track of here. That little bit. Yeah, I'm concerned that I don't actually have like some proper placement blocks here. Ooh! Oh yeah, that's another thing you occasionally see. I didn't actually notice those at all. There's quite a few here. You get the occasional cheaty diamond, you know. Nothing wrong with that. Practically worthless anyway, diamonds. All they're good for is build battles, really, right? Okay, so then we've got to go, like, take out that one down here. Done. Turn around, head back. Perksy, AS77 says, what do you think the most Sorry, let's start that again. What do you think the most helpful add-on you use is? It's a good question. The most useful. Now, what we're using right now is great for technical stuff. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say it's not, like, in terms of add-on, I guess add-on's a good way of phrasing it, really. Probably the Coordinates Hub data pack. Even though you can just press F3, having it on your screen at all times can be really helpful when you're synchronizing portals. But yeah, now you got me thinking. There's quite a few little add-ons that I have. Like, I love the little zoom key as well. They all perform... Ah! Wrong button. They all perform, like, different functions, right? So, this is... Oh my god! Dun dun dun! You know, it can be comical and stuff. Like, each tool feels like it has more of an aspect, right? Like, this is good for that, that is good for this, but the countless times that Coordinates Hub has just been really nice is great. I can effectively do the same thing with Mini HUD. I could also just turn off the FPS and, you know, the server one, I think you can... Oops. I think what you can do is create hotkeys for the info lines. Yeah, look, so... let's type in server here. So, I've already got HNS for slime chunks. Do you know, I'm not going to put a hotkey on it, but I'm just going to turn it off for now. And I'm going to turn off biome as well. So now you got, like, that's really nice, just that small amount of info in the top corner there. That kind of looks like, yeah. That wasn't what I was checking, but it did just look momentarily a bit dark. Oh yeah, I've also been collecting tons of gravel when I come out, and for some reason I haven't done that yet. So I've probably mindlessly walked over a few gravel patches on the way over here. But yeah, I'm in the business of collecting the gravel at the moment. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken... Ooh, good find, good find. Oh, that takes us back up here. It's kind of near, but not really. I don't know. Maybe we'll dig from there to there. Or, no, we'll come up and over, go into this space, do all of that, and then head down there. Alright, so we'll go up that little thing. And I need to get rid of the water. So when we build a glow ink farm, it'll be super duper efficient too. Okay, torch in place. Aha. Is that it? Or is it? It's there, isn't it? It looks quirky the way it's rendered. Cool. Anyone got tips for how you keep working on a certain project and finish it? I got a couple of big projects now, but I can't seem to finish any of them. I mean, is it a time management problem? Is it a motivation thing? I mean, if you can identify that you can't finish them, now all you got to do is identify the barrier. What's stopping you? If it's motivation, action. Start with action. Just do. Okay, I think an ender pearl here would be good. Right, and that's that little bit taken care of, and then we kind of know where we're going from here. So we were here a moment ago. Don't finish things the EFO way. Yeah, you know, you don't have to finish everything as well. It's good to finish things that you start, but... Ah, look at that. So is it accessible? It's got like a one little gap here that you might or might not spot. Ah, did you see the glow ink? It's a good sign that we're removing lots of water when you keep seeing that. So yeah, I actually find this pretty fun, even though we're doing it slightly cheaty. It's just nice to know exactly where to dig and do all the lighting up. You know, caving is fun. You just know that your caving's also being efficient. Efficient use of time. Which is something I'm kind of concerned about, but try and relax a little bit more. Like, I want to make the most of the time, but also quality of time is important too. Like, if you're always rushing around trying to be Mr. Efficiency, it makes that time a little less satisfying in some ways. Aha! The gravel pit. Walkers76, thank you for 2 months. Joining a little late, but always love to catch a stream. Glad to have you with us, my dude. Look at this bat. It's like, it's doing what bats do and flying right in front of me again. Okay, now it's gone away, just to make me sound like I'm lying. Wait, there's 2 of them. God. Right, once you start picking up the gravel, that's when your inventory starts to get real full. Okay, all of that stuff in there. Throw away a little bit of this and that at the back. Need to put away a tool. Uh-huh. And then do I have another, like, shulker box for ores and stuff? Well, I do now. It's all going in here, my friends. All going in here. All the things that I want to keep, anyway. Okay, and that is how you stay organised. Sweet! I think it's time to hydrate again. Also, we've got another noise in the ear. It's Smurfy with the Prime! Thank you so much, Smurfy. Greatly appreciated. Holes137 here for 7 months saying, I agree, X. I always struggle with trying to find the most efficient way due to my ADD OCD, but I have yet to conquer that. Thanks, as always, for sharing your content and your words of wisdom. It's nice to hear things from another fresh perspective. Here's some ideas for you holes, right? As part of the most efficient and the OCD kind of way of doing things. Schedule an hour or like 2 hours a time that you are deliberately going to not do anything. Meander, walk, sit there and flick through Netflix. Like, give yourself time to not do anything, right? And if you've got that resistance of, oh, I won't be efficient or any of it, it's like, it's part of the experiment. Just find out what happens. Relax. Don't think about it. You've deliberately cordoned off these 2 hours to just not think about anything and see what happens. You know, I've been on a bit of like a new creative tangent recently, which I don't want to talk about yet, just because I kind of want to see how it manifests. But it's had me like listening to audiobooks and stuff about creativity, and one of the common things is that like creativity can stem from not trying to do a lot of the time, and I really resonate with that because like when I go for a walk, that's when a lot of really great ideas and stuff come to me, because it's like your mind knows about these different projects and things you're trying to do, but when you try and figure it out in the moment on the spot, it's just kind of difficult, and your brain needs that downtime. It's kind of like, you know, when like someone's name is on the tip of your tongue and you can't quite remember it, and then you give up, and then like an hour later your brain's like, oh, it was so and so, and you're like, oh god, you could have told me that. It's kind of like that. You let go of the thing and then it comes to you. And that's been my experience of being creative on quite a handful of occasions. Right, did I find my way in or did I miss it? Or is there two things? Wait, wasn't there like a bit of a cave, or was that it? Oh, wait, that's... Okay, we're outside of the sphere. But I do want to get that last bit, so... That probably takes care of that. Right, I felt like I was looking at something else then, and it just eluded me. So we've been inside of that. Done all of this area now. There's like this little thing over here. Unless it's easy to journey to something like that, I'm just going to look for like what's more obvious next. I see some darkness down... Oh yeah, we never finished that, so we've got to head back down the way we came. Which was where? Oh, up there. Yep, look. I think we came in from somewhere around this spot. Yep, right, so we keep going down here. Now there was the bit with all the lava. Or was that somewhere else entirely? I think that was somewhere else entirely, yeah. Okay, we get to continue lighting up all of this now. With these crazy cave shapes. Ooh! I'll take the gold. Thank you. We got a message here. Mind of me, are you surprised that there doesn't seem to be a lot of buzz around the wireless redstone with the sculk sensor right now? When it was first announced, it was the biggest thing ever with all sorts of contraptions. No, it doesn't surprise me, because I think like wireless redstone sounds really good, but if you look at the way the sculk works with vibrations and stuff, it's a little bit of a case of like, when am I actually going to use this? And I think it will just take time. It will be, once it's in the game properly and redstoners are making contraptions, there will just be these like different use cases where it's like, oh wait, the sculk sensor would be good here, and you'll probably see it grow and get used. Like, you know, think about how you use like a sticky piston to make a T flip-flop. Like there'll be a mechanic the sculk has that then just become like part of some circuit, and then you'll probably see people start using like doors in their bases with them, and it'll probably be the kind of thing that just picks up a bit of momentum, really. Right, looks like we've done that area down there, so we'll go this way. There has been, oh, speak of the devil, a lack of mobs, I was just thinking. And now we're probably going to find all of them, right? This is where they've been hanging out. Whoops, jump again. I heard some moaning. Some moaning and groaning. Ooh, this might be another... ah, wow, okay, we found a big cave. I think I might have just found an ore vein, right? Oh, that's got to be an ore vein. Look at the way they're spaced out. Let's grab this. Let's see if we can find like a raw ore block. I really think that's one. I think I'm going to screenshot that. That's got to be one. Okay, so F3, F2, F3. Yeah, I could have just pressed F2 because the coordinates are on the screen, but yeah. Anyway, now I have a record of it. That's not diamonds, that's copper. Oh, I'm out of torches, right. So down into the creepy space we go. It looks like I'd already approached this area from this side before and then had to stop. I kind of like to throw the torches up the sides so you get all those awkward bits up the top too. Tom, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Raw ore right above the granite. Ah, well spotted. Okay, so we know it is one. Excellent. Confirmation. Cub's paying 5 diamonds for vein cords. Interesting. Maybe I'll sell one to him, but that'll be the third one or fourth now that I've got. And I actually kind of think, if I build something with copper later, that's going to be dead useful. Right, we're going to use the old camera account just to see what we did. Yeah, you see, I might want to backtrack and just take care of that before I hop down into this area. There's quite a lot all over the place around here, isn't there? And if we come back to this spot, that leads us down there, and that's a whole other thing. Yeah, let's come get these snaky bits. The snaky bits are probably the worst. So we head back up to the ore vein and probably dig from around the side there. Pew Heavenone says, what is the light level overlay? There's the Vanilla Tweaks one, by the way. You can do it with a resource pack. But I'm using Mini HUD, which is on Curse Forge. Did I go right past it? Oh, that's a different thing right there. Wait, losing my bearings with this camera thing. Entrance was somewhere around here, right? A little further behind me. I try not to be like, I don't want to keep like using it consistently. I like to navigate a little bit more, but it can be tricky. Don't forget to eat. I'll eat. Thank you for that. Would you ever consider using Minimap? Curious where your line for using assistance mods is. I've never liked the Minimap. I don't know why. I just, yeah, just never really liked it that much. Is this the same one? It is. Even when I play modded, it's always like, it's there. It's kind of useful, but I've never actually like really wanted to use it that much, I guess. But I guess we're taking some gravel while we're here. Dang, that's a lot of gravel. I think we're seeing some of the ore vein too, just from the other side. Some gravel patches are big, some are small, not all are created equal. Okay, we came from up there. Whoopsie. Alright, we just went out of range of a beacon, I think. So did we actually get down into the bit we were trying to get into? No.
Emergency. Emergency.
It's down here.
Emergency. Incoming enemy fighters. Prepare for launch.
Right, and then this, although there's lava here, let's take out that lava. I'm going to need to drink some more water. I've got a bit of a hungry belly on me at the moment. Always annoys me, that. Do you play on any other Minecraft worlds besides for Hermitcraft Survival? Nah, this game's, for me, this game's always like a one survival world game. It's so difficult to put time into multiple worlds. I mean, I'm just not the sort of player that plays that casually. If I were a bit more of like an adventure and explore type of player, then maybe I would. Ah! What do they call that when everything falls at cave in? Cave in! We've got to cave in while we're caving. That's fact. Mr. What a Sack says, loving the music today. It is some Izukyo. I never know what to say. Izukyo. Yeah, I just haven't listened to it in a while. Lovely music. Right, I remember caving this area just a couple of days ago. But round on this side looks like the bit that I didn't quite get to. Oh, look at that. We want to get rid of that. We don't want water in our area. See, I've done a really good job of lighting things up. Not that bit though, so let's turn around. Follow that around the corner. I think it's like just up here. Uh-huh. So where was that lone squid? Yeah, it's all about like where do I want to pick and go next? Ooh, look at that. Yeah, let's get this patch over here finished off. So we're up here, we kind of want to drift all the way through this cave. Whoa. Yeah, and that's why I'm drifting down like that. Try and throw in a few extra torches. Get those ledges. Ah, we don't want water. No water, no thanks. That's why, glow squids. We've seen so little mobs on this expedition, it's crazy. Okay, that's given me a good oversight of where to put the next torches. Oh yeah, and as I say, it tends to be a good idea to just go behind the perimeter a little bit. As you can see, I'd already put torches out here, but it might help to get rid of this too. Huh. Right, anything else around here? Uh-huh. There's a little bit up in that area. Ooh, and then there's a little bit up here. We need to get an ender pearl up on that. Every little bit. Gotta make that killer perimeter, you know. Ah, we lost torches. So that looks like we've covered pretty much all of this area, right? Whoa. Oh! Oh, let's get me some cheaty diamonds. I was just thinking, oh, look at that. Like, one light level. You know, that's lucky. Oh, wait, is this not... Oh, there it is. Oh, cheaty diamonds. They feel even more satisfying. I only got one anyway. I could just, like, go right through there into that spot. That seems like a good shout. Uh-huh. I get some gold on the way. Ah! Come here, you terror! Oh, you butt kicker, you're dead. We'll leave a torch there. And as I've said plenty of times now, good to light up a little bit. Oh, look, that's where the mobs are. They're all outside the perimeter. And there is an amethyst geode here. It too might need lighting up. Whoop! Whoop! Watch out. Don't explode. There's gravel above your head. Oh, I've already been in that. Okay. Yeah, let's dig through this gap. We got a noise in the air. Mark New here for 6 months. Half a year, indeed. Thank you, my dude. And a bomb banana, 25 months. How are you? How's it going? I'm alright. I'm doing good. Just feeling like hunger pains at the moment. I'm forever hungry, me. Gonna have a cup of tea or something like that, I think. Right, we'll skip over that since we've got more lighting to do. Oh, there's loads of gravel around this area. And then we want to get a little bit outside of the perimeter too. Well, this looks quite precarious all of a sudden. There's loads of lava that might kill me. Ah, another area I haven't been to. "2 hours and no curry talk, feeling okay," says Ash Orbit. Fun story for ya. On Sunday I ordered a curry and they rung me up and told me I had to pay double for it or something, and I was just like, "You're taking the mick." I was like, just cancel it, don't worry about it. Ooh! And then I had like a kind of like choice paralysis. I couldn't just like choose anything else after that. Spent like half an hour looking at menus and like, this is ridiculous. So I ordered a pizza from Prezzo and it was pretty pants. Like, I do like, you know, takeaway pizzas and whatnot. But those places like Prezzo and Ask Italia, they're different. They're the more bready, like wholesome type pizza. And I ordered, and I ordered a calzone and it was just like, honestly, it was like 80 to 90% bread. Just this ginormous crust, and then this like tiny pathetic little bit of sauce with like a couple of bits of chicken and pepperoni in it, and it was just so pants. I was just like, ugh. Not ordering from here again then. Oh wait a minute, I already got that, and I need torches, don't I? Right, plenty of ores, then we need torches. So I need some coal from here and then some sticks from there. Probably a lot more than that actually. I'll just make a whole bunch of them, right? Or 18. Let's make 18. That'll last forever. Just a Stray Cat is here for 4 months saying thank you for mentioning tea. Made me remember I have water ready for one. There you go, tea reminder. Always in need of a tea reminder, aren't we? Thank you for the support, my dude. Tannenbaum 20 here for 11 months, saying it's my final exam for today. Question, oh my god, I'm terrible at reading today. Hi, in my final exam today was a question about my opinion about the new planned smart grid. What do you know or think about it? What is the smart grid? You'll have to enlighten me, for I am an ignorant. I am an ignorant. Use the bamboo for sticks. I could do that, but you know, I can also just use wood. Yeah, not a bad suggestion, just we got choices, right? Ooh. I think someone's tunneled through here, that's why there's netherrack, yeah. Okay then, let's check once more, just this little area, so it's like one bit hidden behind a wall. Is that because of this? Is that what it is? I think that's what it was. Another geode over there, then tons more to be lit up. Wow, look at that. God, getting on top of that's going to make a big difference. We did really good with this area though. No need to backtrack, although... No. Now all of that's been pretty competent. Oh, God. Oh, should have done those while I was in the area. There's always going to be little bits like this. But as we probably better maybe early on to just focus on getting some big caves like this over here done. I'm going to... Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is follow this into the geode. And then follow it out as well. You missed the spot, says Zuffgard. As we've established. Tell you what, I'll just do that. I don't know who dug this tunnel though. I don't think it was me. I do not think it was me. My thinking here was that if I dig up... Oh yeah, right, we're right below it. Uh-huh. And then there's all this bad stuff immediately there. Okay, I'm going to head back inside. Block it off. And do you know what we didn't do today? Okay, first of all, that. Nope, wrong one. Ugh. We didn't make our thumbnail, so why not in just a pretty place like this, eh? That'll be it for today. And by that, I mean the live stream. We're going to wrap it up here. It's late. I've got other things to do now for the rest of my day. I want to thank everyone for coming by, though. Greatly appreciate your support as always. And I hope you're all doing good. I'll look for someone to raid. I want to say a big thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate your support. Thanks to all the mods, the patrons, all the peeps gifting sub. Y'all appreciated. We're going to go raid the one, the only, the Music Man. So hit that follow button, then hit the raid button, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Bye.